Sitaram devotees. Sitaram
Sitaram.
devotees. Right. On behalf of the Felicity Ganesh Utsav Festivals Committee, I'd like to warmly welcome each and every one of you to our 6th night of our Ganesh Utsav celebration and Yagna. Our VRSG for tonight's proceeding is none other than Vishnu Ramsurmair from Waraka, and I'll leave you in good hands with Pundit Ji. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the discourse. Sita.
Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Sitaram to one and all, and welcome to this evening's session of Katha from Ganesh Puran. To our wonderful viewers on Sankhya TV, welcome. Welcome to this evening's session. Wonderful session for you this evening. Put in the hands together, close in the physical as we all pray. Gajananam bhutaganaatisevitam kapeta jambo palsar bhakshanam umasutam shoka vinashikarkam namami Ganesshwar parapam tujam Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Samskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sachat Param Brahman Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Nagindraharam Trilochanayam Bhashmandragaya Maheshwarayam Nityaya Shudaya Digammarayam Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Om Anjani Garbhasan Mukham Vayu Putro Mahabam Kumaro Brahmacharicham Hanuman Me Prasidhami Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargudevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karavabahim Tejasvinavarhitamastu Mahavidvishabhe Om Shanti 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 Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Meli chadhe Meli chadhe Puri ki kese Dwar tumhare He pavan Parameshwar mere मन ही मन शर्माऊं, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे। My dear friends, द्वार तुम्हारे you all have to make a presentation one day. One day we have to make a presentation to God. What will be your presentation? Will you make a joyful presentation, or will you be ashamed to make your presentation? He Pavan Parameshwar mere मन ही मन शर्माऊं, मेरी चादर की कैसे, मेरी चादर की कैसे, द्वार तुम्हारे हे पवन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शर्माऊं, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे। तूने मुझको जग में भेजा, देकर निर्मल काया, आकर के संसार में मैंने इसको धागा लगाया। जन्म जन्म की मैली चादर, अब क्या धाग छुड़ाऊं, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे। निर्मल वाणी पाकर तुझसे नाम तेरा गाया, नैन मुन कर हे परमेश्वर, कभी न तुझको ध्याया। मन बिना की तारे तूते, अब क्या गीत सुनाऊं, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे। इन पैरों से चलकर तेरे मंदिर कभी न आया, जहाँ जहाँ हो पूजा तेरी, कभी शीश झुकाया। हे हरिहर मैं लड़के आए, अब क्या मार चुकाऊं, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे, मेरी चादर पूरी की कैसे। द्वार तुम्हारे आओ, Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. My dear friends, may you all please stand as we shall have Arati. Om yani kani cha papani janmayurti kritani chay Tani tani vinashayanti Sri Pradakshina Pari Pari. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh. May you all please have your seats. Between you and Sita, Hanuman Bhajan. Putra Hanuman ki jai. So devotees and friends, let us prepare now for this evening discourse. I cannot promise you how long I will take, but as long as it takes, I'll keep you here. So if it takes us until the morning, we're going until the morning. All right, Ganesh? Very important katha this evening, my dear friends. We reached a very wonderful point last evening, and I want to take it a little bit further in. So as I said, are you all prepared to stay a little bit late tonight? Okay, 8:30 is good. Put in the hands together, we pray. Gajananam bhutaganadesevitam kapeta jambo palisar bhakshanam umasutam shoka vinashikarkam namami Viganeshwar parapankajam. Jai 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 Vandana Bhuvan Nandana Gauri Ganesh Dukadavan Davan Pandana Haranam Sundara Suvana Maheshwaram Jayati Shambhu Sut Gauri Nandan Vigana Harana Nashana Bhava Pandan Jai Gananayak Jana Sukhdhayak Vishwa Vinayak Buddhi Vidhayak Ekaradhan Gaya Badan Birajan Vakratunda Suchi Shunda Susatjan Tilaka Tripunda Bhala Shashi Sohatan Chavi Lakhi Suranar Muniman Mohitam Jai Jai Shri Ganesh Bhagavan Jai Shri Ganesh Bhagavan Ekadantaya Vidmahem Vakratundaya Dhimahim Tanno Dhante Prachodayam. All together. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Last evening, my dear friends, we reach our katha to that point where Sindura, who was created by Brahma himself, started on his journey to satisfy his inflated ego. How many of us, my dear friends, have inflated our ego, that ahamkar, that abhima? I am, I am Pundit Vishnu. My dear friends, what really I am? God allowed me to be Pundit Vishnu a little bit with a little bit of knowledge, and I must be very thankful and humble with that. But Sindura, my dear friends, having the blessings from Brahma, he allowed his ego to inflate. And having that ego inflated, my dear friends, remember he had that Vardhan that whoever he embraced will be burnt to ash. And so, my dear friends, the first one he went back when he realized the power that he had. When Sindura left his father Brahmadev and was leaving, it struck him of that power which he had. And then he decided, I am going to test this on my father. And devotees and friends, he went to embrace Brahma. Brahma ran away, but gave him the curse that Lord Vinayaka will take form and he will destroy him. But prior to that, he had no way that he was going to die. So a situation had to come, my dear friends, for death to come to him. So he got the curse now. So the only one who can kill really Sindura is Vinayaka Bhagwan Shri Ganesh. And the only one, my dear friends, to kill this ego within us is the recitation of Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. How many of us chant this mantra? How many? I give you all a little task on, it was the first night I was here. You mean only forget the first night I come here? Sunday. And I remember the first night I came, I told you all, 15 minutes every day, sit down and chant Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. I would believe that all of you have done it. So I would not ask. So don't bother to raise your hands, please. Prem se bole Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki. So my dear friends, we reached to the point where Sindura went to fight with Lord Shiva. And that divine Lord, my dear friends, manifested as a Brahmin. And he placed his axe between Sindura and Shiva. And the Brahmin told to, remember the Brahmin is Shri Ganesha, but to Sindura, this is the Brahmin talking. And the words of the Brahmin, they have very, very great respect for it. Because, my dear friends, the Brahmin are the very elevated ones, the ones who have devoted themselves. They have that connection. So when Sindura was told by the Brahmin man, listen, you see that Trishul of Lord Shiva? That will burn you to ash. What Sindura did? He ran away from that company, my dear friends, and he came down back to Bhulok, this Mrityulok which we live in, the abode of the earth, where death is. But he had so much power, the ego was so much inflated. Why he ran? The same thing all of us will run from, my dear friends. He ran from death. Because the Brahmin told him, he says, that Trishul of Lord Shiva will burn you to ash. So my dear friends, the fear of death came to him and he ran back down to the world. He came where he was more comfortable. Where he was more comfortable, and he started to burn people like, it says, my dear friends, the earth and the world was like a flaming, bundle of fire. But let us listen as our katha commences. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. अवसाद प्राप्त होने पर देवता होने गुप्ता घोषति की जय श्री गणेश, जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। जिसमें सिंदूर सूरकांत परंता करने सभाइंधी विचार हे चला जय श्री गणेश, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। बहुत सोच विचार के प्रसाद की यहाँ समझा में ना आ रहा था कि असुर को किस प्रकार हरया जयाम। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। अनंता में देव गुरु बृहस्पति ने उपाया सुजायम भगवान मयूरेश का स्मरण करे। वे ही इस संकट हो ध्वम करने में समर्थ हैं। जय श्री गणेश, जय श्री गणेश भगवान। बोल जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति। प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। So devotees and friends, Sindura continued to make all his trouble, my dear friends. But something happened. It says here, Nandi Adhina Bhagwan Shiva ko जगने का प्रयोग किया. Devotees and friends, dear Bhagwan Shiva and Uma Devi, after Sindura ran away, remained still in Kailash Parvat. And dear my dear friends, Uma Devi then asked of the Brahmin, he said, please tell to me, I want to know who you are. And devotees and friends, the Brahmin became very quiet. The Brahmin became very quiet, my dear friends. But what happened? It says here, my dear friends, the Brahmin becoming quiet, he then took a particular form. And he took that form, my dear friends, of Ganapati Bhagwan riding on the lion. Yes, my dear friends, it is not only on the mouse that he rides. At this point, he came on the lion, Simha Ganapati. Simha Ganapati, my dear friends, is white in color. And this white in color Ganesh Bhagwan or Ganapati Bhagwan rides on the lion. He displays, my dear friends, another lion in one hand. So he's riding on a lion and he holds a lion in the next hand. Devotees and friends, this symbolizes strength and fearlessness. It symbolizes strength and fearlessness. So at this point, my dear friends, Ganapati Bhagwan observing Sindura and the strength, his Abhiman, he's now showing to Uma Devi, listen, O mother, I have that strength, I'm fearless. I will fight with Sindura, have no fear about that. And my dear friends, the call is for you and I. That statement is for you and I. Bhagwan Ganapati riding on that lion is for you and I to know that fear nothing once we have Ganesh in our heart. Place Shri Ganesh in your heart. And how are you going to place Shri Ganesh in your heart? If you go by Savi in Puja Bhavan, Prem Singh up there, my dear friends, you have plenty Ganesh Murti up there. Take one and put it in your heart. I wonder if we have any heart surgeon around here. They will have to open your heart. And everybody, Savi, you'll have to get more and more, because everybody will run down there to get a Ganesh to put in their heart. But if it was that easy, my dear friends, then we would not have had any problem. How are we going to put Ganesh Bhagwan in our heart to become fearless, to ready for the fight of this world? Chant, my dear friends, jap. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati. How much of you find time to do that every day? I tell you, my dear friends, 15 minutes every day. Forget wife, forget husband, forget children, and take that 15 minutes for yourself and Ganapati Bhagwan. Chant the name. And once you have Ganapati Bhagwan in your heart, my dear friends, when the Sindura comes, when the ego rises within us, we don't need him on the mouse. We need him on the lion, with holding a lion also in one hand. So my dear friends, it says here, that signifies strength and fearlessness. He also hold, my dear friends, a lotus in one of that hand. And that lotus flowers, my dear friends, represents what? Do not allow yourself to mix into the world. And how it happens? My dear friends, how do we mix in the world? The lotus always rise above the muddy water. The lotus, my dear friends, did not remain in the rotten mud down below like the leech. The leech says, I am born in the rotten mud, I will remain right here and die here. But the lotus says, I am born in the rotten mud, and I'm not going to stay here. I am going and show, I am going to give my beauty to the world. The lotus rise above, my dear friends, the muddy water. And this is what Ganesh Bhagwan is telling to us. Be strong, be fearless, and rise. Do not mix yourself into these worldly things. How it happens? The little problems and difficulties come into our lives. And tell me, my dear friends, which one of us is free from difficulties? Which one of us would not find a little problem one day in our lives? Even the gods and the devil. Watch. Uma Devi and Lord Shiva find trouble here. Sindura come in trouble, real trouble. So who is you and I? We must meet a little problem here and there, my dear friends. But what are you going to do? Are you going to drown yourself in the problem, or try to rise and swim out of the problem? To swim out of the problem, my dear friends, you are to rise. And how are you going to rise out of the depths of that water of problems? By chanting, by jap. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Friends, Bole Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. So devotees and friends, he has a bouquet of flowers into his hands. What flowers signifies, my dear friends? Anyone tell me what flowers signifies? When you give someone flowers, what you are telling them? I love you. So you can't just take the flowers and go and drop it. You can't just take the mala and just drop it around somebody's neck. No, you have to put it with love and affection. So my dear friends, when he rides the lion, he also have a bouquet of flowers. So he's telling to us, ride on the lion. Hold one of the lion in your hands also. Show your strength. Be fearless. Have that, lotus Live like the lotus. Hold a bouquet of flowers. Have the pot, and the pot of jewel will come to you. But you must have that veena into your hands. If Dylan, my dear friends, which hand you play me? Right hand, right? But if he move the left hand from on top, all I will run him out of the stage one time. If he only moved that left hand from on top where the keys are to select, you would not get a piece of music, but you will get a lot of noise. Confusion. So my dear friends, we must have that veena. Ganapati Bhagwan on the line is telling us that we must have that veena. The veena, my dear friends, is to play the music of life. But we must select our actions to have a sweet piece of music or sweet musical life. But when we have hate and we have anger and we have jealousy and we have pride, and those are the selection, what kind of music you're going to get? You would not get a soothing music in your heart at all. I'm telling to you. Anytime we have hate, jealousy, anger, we're ready to quarrel, my dear friends, our mind becomes agitated. And you know, the agitated song comes. So my dear friends, we need to wake up. And this is the form that Ganesh Bhagwan took when he came and saved Uma Devi from Sindura. I could have just told you he came on the lion form and showed himself. But then what would that mean to you? I told you last night, I want to tell to you what this lion really means to you when he rides on the lion. You know, I have few of the members of my mandir here. And we do quite a number of murtis for Visarjan. We do this year, we did 4. I am sure by the time the next time we meet, they go, or before we leave here, one of them will come and say, Baba, I want to make one with the lion next year. Prem Sabare Shri Ganesh Utsav. We had any with the lion yet? Sir? We will make one with the lion. Prem Sabare Shri Ganesh Utsav ki jai. So my dear friends, riding on the lion, what color does he go with? What color does Ganapati Bhagwan goes when he rides on the lion? I just told you all at the beginning. Tell me. White. And what white signifies?
Purity.
Purity. And the lion signifies, my dear friends, strength and fearlessness. So when you have strength, you're fearless. You select your actions to perform. You live like the lotus rising above all the dirtiness of the world, meaning the vices of the world. You hold a bouquet of flowers in your hands, you have love, my dear friends. Then you will have that pot of jewel. You will be valuable, and then you become pure, white. That is where we'd like to reach. That is where which one of you do not want to reach there? Prem Sabale Shri Ganesh Utsav. So we all want to reach there, my dear friends. But he did not remain in that form to Uma Devi for long. He disappeared. And when he disappeared, my dear friends, what followed? What followed when he disappeared? It says here, when he disappeared, the physical form disappeared. But Vinayaka, my dear friends, as he is known in that unmanifested form, Vinayaka then took his form as an embryo, and he went into the womb of Uma Devi. And there, my dear friends, when Uma Devi realized that she is carrying now a baby. And what have happened, it is Ganapati Bhagwan she is carrying, who have manifested in her womb. She went and she spoke to Bhagwan Shiva. Devotees and friends, you know, when some of the mothers become in family where they are afraid to tell the husband, why? When Parvati Devi Uma Mata realized that Ganesh Bhagwan had manifested in her womb, the first person she went to was her husband. She went to her husband and she told him. And what the husband would do then? In our regular world today, what will they do? They'll go down and meet the boys and say, boys, celebration time. And how would the celebration be? When the celebration gets high and they reach home, my dear friends, the same lady who they're celebrating, they might even abuse with words. But my dear friends, what Shiva Bhagwan did, and what Shivaji is telling to all of us, and this he's directing, my dear friends, to all our fathers and brothers. This is what you need to do. When your wife comes and tells to you, hey, listen, God have given us a baby, it's coming. What he did, he took her away, my dear friends, from Kailash Parvat, and he took her to a very wonderful place. The beautiful gardens, beautiful river, all around, my dear friends. And it says here that Bhagwan Shiva took her there so that she would be away from all things, so that she can have this baby in a very peaceful world. So he brought her down to earth, because this is where the prophecy have to come, that Ganapati Bhagwan, this is what Brahma told to Sindhura. He said Ganapati Bhagwan will be born, and when he comes, he will destroy you. So Lord Shiva knows all of that. So he took now Uma Devi and brought her down to Bhulok, that is this world. And devotees and friends, when he brought her down, he took her to a place by the name of Pariyali. Pariyali, my dear friends, is with a beautiful garden. And so, my dear friends, the breeze was very cool. The petal-like flowers, you know, it was a wonderful place as described here, my dear friends, my Brahmadev. Prem Shri Ganesh Utsav. So, my dear friends, not only when our wives is having, you know, creating that situation that I'll become father, that I will treat her like this. At all times, we're supposed to create, my dear friends, that ambience that our wives will be comfortable. Husbands, listen this evening. This is what Shivaji is teaching us. We must create comfort within our home. My dear friends, that is the first Shakti of Ganesh Bhagwan. Oh my God, I start just on the line and so much things coming here now. I feel like I tell you all, you know, that we may have to go till the morning. My dear friends, the first Shakti of Ganesh Bhagwan is that you create that ambience, you create that situation at home that all will be comfortable. If your home is not comfortable, can you make anyone else comfortable? Friends, wake up. Wake up. It is time now for us to introspect. As I told you all when we were collecting the Murti for Stapan, I said that this year coming, all those who are taking the Vrat for 2019-2020, these are the three key words that we are going to use: reflection, surrender, and what's the third one?
Transformation.
Not you, Ganesh.
Oh.
What is the third one? So it is reflection, surrender, and tell them now, Ganesh.
Transformation.
Transformation. You could look back how much of your life you could surrender, but what you're surrendering to, what you're surrendering to, my dear friends, must have transformation. All right, Shami? Must have transformation. If we have transformation, then, my dear friends, you're in a pool of mud. Just like the leech. I'm born here, and I will die right here. Rise, rise, my dear friends. So what happened now? It says on the other side now, what is happening? On the other side. So I now reach to where I read just a short while ago. It says, as the days pass, one day, Gajamukasur came by. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And it says here now, Brahmadev is saying, I am now going to tell to you this katha of Gajasur, devotees and friends, his previous birth. In his previous birth, he was a king, my dear friends, Mayachuta. This was his name, very devoted to Bhagwan Shiva. So one day, he met Brihaspati. And who is Brihaspati? Brihaspati, my dear friends, is the guru of all the devas. Of all the devas, Brihaspati is that guru. And let us listen what he says. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai. Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Dev Guru bole, Are ve Prabhu, Tu sarvatra vidyaman hai. Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Yahi rahte huye bhakti bhaktan Bhavi Purvaka Anhi Vinayakam. Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Ki astuti karo ve avsar hai, prasan hokar avatar legi. Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. और समस्ता संसार को भया मुक्त करने के लिए असुर राजा को समत्यान कर ढले कुम. जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान. जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान. तुमको भी आपने धाम की प्राप्ति हो जने की. जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान. बोल जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति. हे great king now, who in the present is known as Gajamukh Asur. He was King Mayachutha in the last life. And it says here that, he was very devoted. And when he went to Brihaspati Muni, that great sage, offering him seat and everything else, treated him as the king. And then, my dear friends, Brihaspati told to him, he said, "Hey Rajan, your qualities have impressed me very much. Your qualities have impressed me very much. My dear friends, I want to ask of you, if your guru should come in front of you now, can he tell to you that I am satisfied with your actions, I am satisfied with your qualities? I want you in respect." Yes, he will be satisfied when he see you. How many of us, when we see our guru, we have the best, best performance? When we in front of the Murti, best performance. Great sadhaka when we in front of the Murtis. When Pandit Amir is there, oh my God, everything. And don't talk about when Pandit Vishnu reached now. Everybody is doubted themselves, but as I go, what happened? We start ill-speaking others. Ramcharitmanas tell to us the greatest sin that man can perform and to commit is to ill-speak another person. We start to have hate. None of you here know hate, I am sure, because I'm going to tell you something now. If you don't hate, you might want to cut off my tongue. Our scriptures tell to us, my dear friends, that haters are a manifestation of what? God? Haters are a manifestation of the demons. So if you are a hater, then you see what category you fall under. Why must I hate someone? Because they have hurt me? No. So Shanti here. Why must we hurt? Why must we hate? We must be able, my dear friends, to rise above hate. So Brihaspati Bhagwan is telling to the great king, Mayachutha, he says, I'm very pleased with you. He says, and when that Lord will be born as Vinayaka in that elephant form, he says, you will have liberation. You will lift yourself. You will have the blessings of Ganapati Bhagwan, and you'll have the blessings of Lord Shiva. And so saying, my dear friends, what happened? What happened, my dear friends? It says here that Brihaspati Bhagwan left. And when he left, what happens now? Let us listen as the Katha continues. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati. जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। हे प्रभु आप जैसे अधीश्वर के सधवे जगराते रहते हुए भी एक तुछान असुर ने समस्ता विषेवान को संकट में ढाल रखता है इस ज्ञान ते से हमें केवल आपका ही भरोसा है। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। इस प्रकार स्तुति करने के पश्चात समस्त देवगण ऋषि मुनि अधिघोर जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। So devotees and friends, what follow now? The king have told Brihaspati, the chief of the gurus, who are the guru of the devatas, have told to this king, oh, I'm very pleased and you have the blessings. You will be liberated by Shri Ganesh Bhagwan. But my dear friends, Brihaspati told him that yes, that Shri Ganesh Bhagwan will come and he will uplift you. He didn't say that it happens already. But my dear friends, when we get a little bliss, when we have a little darshan, when we get a little siddhi, we feel that we are God's self ourselves now too. So my dear friends, the little ego inflated into a big ego. And my dear friends, this king went on a yatra. He went journeying into the forest. And when he went journeying into the forest, my dear friends, what happened? It says here, my dear friends, that as he went into the forest, what happened? It says here, Kasumudhaya chala rahata hai. Devata ne शिवजी को इस प्रकार यात्रा करते देखा तो वे अनेक प्रकार के मधुर मंगल माया बजाते लगे. Devotees and friends, he went on this yatra, and devotees and friends, he went with a troop of his followers, his army, a battalion. He went with, my dear friends. And oh, how he was enjoying that, my dear friends. But my dear friends, what happened? He passed Narad. He passed Narad Muni without even recognizing that that is a great saint there. And this is what happened to us. When we have been given praise and when our ego rises, my dear friends, what happened? We see Panditji, we see the Guru, and we fail to, pay our obeisances to the Guru. That is disrespect. That is disrespect, my dear friends. We must at no time disrespect our leaders. So devotees and friends, what followed? It says here now, Narad, my dear friends, decided, I have to teach this king a lesson. So when the Guru, my dear friends, put and he draw a line for you a little bit. Don't believe the Guru is angry with you, no. Gurudev is not supposed to be angry. He is Kripa Sindhu. Gurudev is Kripa Sindhu. He is an ocean of mercy. But my dear friends, that does not mean to say that he will allow you to do the wrong thing. No, not at all, never. If the Guru allows you to do the wrong thing, then the Guru is creating you into a demon instead of a devta. So he has to correct you immediately. Alright, Sita? What do you think about the bhajan just now? So devotees and friends, what followed? He told to him, he says, you passed me here like a raging elephant. O king, You passed me like a raging elephant and you did not recognize me. It says in your next life you will become a raging elephant. Devotees and friends. And this is how Gajamukasur became the elephant. But something happened again. One day, my dear friends, this elephant, remember in his past life, he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So he will be attracted wherever Lord Shiva is. What devotee you are, my dear friends? These days we are all Ganesh Bhagwan devotees. But when this finished, what happened? Where our devotion will be heading? Our devotion will be heading what we love most. You know, I don't want to say. We will be looking at all the signboards. How much for $100? I think the signboard say no, three for $100. The next advertisement I think is 3 for 25, not three for 20. So what we really love? Do we really love Shri Ganesh Bhagwan? If we love Shri Ganesh Bhagwan, my dear friends, then all those signs will be irrelevant for us. It will mean nothing to us. But some of us, we are coming to an end now. So since a month now, you know that your year coming to an end now. So you're looking at all the signboards, where I'll get it the cheapest so I could buy the most. Because the whole year was without it. Praise the Lord Shri Ramsurmair. My dear friends, then you are not a devotee of Shri Ganesh. This elephant is teaching us a lesson. Devotees and friends. He is now moving to where Shivaji is. Let us listen as the katha continues. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Chalte chalte ve parvale ke sundar bhan mein pahuch kar rukhe waha anekom prakar ke sundar sugandh detam पुष्पा किलेते जय श्री गणेश पालधार वृक्ष परम मीठे पौम जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान कथा उनके सघांतम से वातावरण अत्यंतम सुहावनाम और सुखाधाम शीतल हो रहे टांग गिरिजा को वहाँ स्यान बहुत रुचि कर प्रतीता हुआ और नाके कहने पर भगवान शिवा ने वहाँ धारणां श्री कर लिए जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय Nobody sing on the night. I want to hear all the singing. Jai Jai Ganapati
Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh,
So Sunday we did our visurgence and went down in the water. And some water went in my ears and the wax. You know, you get up, so I'm not hearing too well. Let me hear it now. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati. One more time. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. शिव जी की अज्ञान प्रकार उनके गणों में वहाँ एक सुंदर दिव्य एवं व्यामंडपट। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। जगान जननी जग जननी उस अरण्या में सखियों के साथ रहती और कभी जल से परिपूर्ण सरोवर। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। All together. जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, devotees and friends, what followed? It says now, this elephant, Gajamukasur, he is now going, he has that vibration, he is feeling where Shri Ganesh, where Lord Shiva is, my dear friends, and he is heading in that direction. He is heading in that direction, my dear friends. And what happened? There he met where Shri Ganesh and Shri Lord Bhagwan Shiva was. Yes, my dear friends. And what was that area? It says there were sweet smelling flowers and everything else, because Bhagwan Shiva took Parvati Devi, Uma Devi, to have her baby in that kind of environment. It tells to us, my dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva is teaching us. When our wives, the mothers is ready to, to conceive the baby, it must be, my dear friends, that embryo must grow into the most peaceful situation. You must be singing bhajans for that baby every night in the womb. You must be reading the scriptures to the baby. How many of us do that? How many of us do that? My dear friends, so Bhagwan Shiva was doing this. But when the elephant come, and the elephant smelling nice flowers and seeing nice flowers and everything else, what he will do? He will swing the trunk. And as he keeps swinging the trunk now, that nice diamond, glazed hut that Bhagwan Shiva built for Parvati Devi Umama, he break it down. Not for anything, he was just moving the trunk, my dear friends, because of the nice smell, looking now for where Shiva Bhagwan was. So he was in search for Shiva Bhagwan. And when he finds Shiva Bhagwan, what happened? Shiva Bhagwan dropped the axe on his neck. So Gajamukasur lost his head now. My dear friends. And so, when he lost his head, what happened? What was the sound that came out from Gajamukasur? When the life was leaving his body, what was the sound? Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And when Bhagwan Shiva heard that, if the last word could be Namah Shivaya, then this is a devotee of mine. He was so sad that he did this. He was so sad that he did this, my dear friends. So he says, listen, O Gajamukh, I will safeguard your head. And he gave darshan to the body. Prem se bole Shri Ganesh Utsav ki. Devotees and friends, that axe that fell on the neck of Gajamukh, it is a strong measure, my dear friends. I'm telling to you, you all have to be very strong, because malas are coming for you pretty soon. How much murti I buy by you, child? 50. I had to give one of them mala because I got 51. Well, I hope Felicity is a bigger village than mine. If you take my village and put it into Felicity, is one little street in Felicity. And my community, my dear friends, is very mixed religiously. Felicity is predominantly Hindus. So if I get 51 at home, then I should get 101 here. Don't worry, Ganesh. People just say, see me, I don't want to have more than 2 children. But when God gives their parents and their grandparents 12 and 21, and all of them mine and all of them grow. So if we get 101 here, but this year, we can manage, don't worry. Ganesh Bhagwan, once he gives me something, he will show you how to manage it. Always remember that. He don't give you something that you cannot manage. Look for the solution and you will find it. So my dear friends, it says that when we have to take righteous decision, we have to get the righteous goal, then we must take strong measures. If we don't take strong measures, then we will crash. We will definitely crash. And my dear friends, oh my God, I have to take strong measures. It's already now 20 to 9. Prem se bole Shri Ganesh Utsav ki jai. So devotees and friends, it says, like a crashing thought in the jungle, we must use the axe to strengthen our minds and cut away the bondage of the vices which ties itself within our mind. And that is what Bhagwan Ganesh, my dear friends, that is what Lord Shiva did. Devotees and friends, this axe is a very powerful weapon. This axe will cut away all the asuras, the malicious thoughts that are within us, all these malicious thoughts. You know, somebody do you something and you're waiting, my dear friends, for the opportunity to see them. That's a malicious thought. That's a malicious thought. When you wait to see another human being like yourself fall just because they do you something that wasn't to your favor. That axe, my dear friends, will cut it off. That is what the axe is for. All those malicious thoughts which are meant to harm the devotees of God, that axe will cut it off. So my dear friends, I'm telling to you, I'm advising you, and I'm showing you evidence. Be a devotee of God, and the axe will be there to save you at all times. So devotees and friends, that head was saved. The head was saved. And what happened? You know, I have to condense now. I have to tell to you all. But let me see if I can read one more verse again. Omar. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan, Jai Shri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. किंतु अनेके भरश कर रूपा को देख कर माता अधीर हो, उतरे रस्ता वरण को भधान कभाई, मस्तकान हाथे के सुधाम. जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान. बोल जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय will take me a few minutes. Please bear with me. Devotees and friends, remember Bhagwan Shiva. Because Gajamukasur is such a, great devotee of Lord Shiva, he had Lord Shiva into his heart. Bhagwan Shiva did not recognize him through the form of the elephant. So he gave the body salvation, my dear friends, and he kept the head. And that is what he promised him. He said, I'll keep that head. And so, my dear friends, what happened? Narad Bhagwan, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And anytime you hear Narayan, everybody will say he's the wicked fella. Everybody say Narad is the wicked fella. Narad more wicked is. Let me tell you, Narad has just push the right knob at the right time to create the right situation for God to act. So we need somebody like that in our lives, and that's our Guru. Our Guru will teach us, my dear friends, what to do, when to do, how much to do, and let the Lord do the rest. But we just want to do everything for ourselves. When we go and pray to Him and we say, Lord, I had this problem and this is in your hand. 5 minutes after, when you walk away from Bhagwan, you take it back in your own hand. So devotees and friends, what happened here now? It says here, my dear friends, Narad went down to where Sindura was, and he tells Sindura, he said, listen, he said, Uma Devi have conceived, Ganesh Bhagwan is with her. And devotees and friends, what happened? Sindura now took the form of the wind, air, and he entered into the womb of Uma Devi, and he cut off the head of that embryo. So he cut off Ganesh Bhagwan's head clean off, and he went and he dropped it in a river. If I could have been able to have time to read the lines, you would have go till the morning, but it's really sweet, the lines. But I'm telling you, my dear friends, listen to the sweetness of how it happened. And it says when he dropped that head in the river, it creates such a big hole that it is up to now known as the Ganesh Dam, the abode of Ganesh. And great divine beings happen there. All, my dear friends, those who take a bath into that point, because it was a river of blood. Whose blood? Ganesh blood. And anyone who is willing, my dear friends, to travel part of Ganesh blood, what it signifies, Ganesh sacrifice. Once you decide to sacrifice yourself in the name of Shri Ganesh, you will be another Ganesh yourself. Yeah, not this one, I'm talking about Bhagwan Ganesh. So it says many Ganesh came out of that pool of blood. But what happened on this side? Baby was born without a head. The embryo still continued to grow, and the baby was born without a head. Devotees and friends, it says that the baby also talked, but it didn't have a head. And my dear friends, if a mother have a baby without a head, will that mother be happy? Will that mother be happy? No. So devotees and friends, something had to happen. And so, my dear friends, what followed? Narad Bhagwan went to absolute Ganesh, and I told you all the night before, Ganesh is not just Ganesh alone, where Parvati Devi have created him out of the dirt and all of that. Ganesh Bhagwan is absolute. He's the absolute Lord. So Narad Bhagwan made his connection back to Bhagwan. And he said, Hey Ganesha, hey Ganesha, hey Ganesha, please tell to me what it is that Uma Devi have to do. And Ganesha told to Narad Bhagwan, he said, Hey Narad, remember you give that king the curse that he have to become Gajamu. He have to come the one with the elephant head. He said, yes. He said, well, Lord Shiva have his head there. Go and get that head and put it on back onto the headless body of Uma Devi, daughter and son, and devotees and friends. There, my dear friends, he went and they took out the head. And Vinayaka, my dear friends, without a face, is dancing and playing and enjoying himself. And then, my dear friends, they placed that head on Ganesh Bhagwan. When they did that, my dear friends, in the Chaturthi day, in the month of Avani. That month of Avani is this month that we are having here. Avani is the month in Tamil. Devotees and friends. And there on that fourth day was born Gajanana. So in this celebration of the Chaturthi, we should always remember Ganesh Bhagwan as Gajanana. Gajanan Swami Ki,
Jai.
Devotees and friends, because this was the name that he got on this birthday which we celebrate, Gajanana. My dear friends, and with this now, he came out, my dear friends, with his 4 hands. He came out just as he's standing there. He came out with the 4 hands. And who he came out with? He came out with Riddhi and Siddhi, my dear friends, on his right side and his left side. He came out in that divine form. My dear friends, he came out with a crown. He came out with pearl necklace. He came out with golden chain and so many other ornaments. 4 hands and 3 eyes. We only put 2 eyes for him, but the 3rd eye is the eye, my dear friends. That is the eye we all have to awaken. And so, my dear friends, he came out with Siddhi and Buddhi, which tomorrow evening I will describe and tell to you how Siddhi and Buddhi is within us, what it means for us. My dear friends, it says with this very beautiful elephant head, you know, he was induced to amusement to everyone, my dear friends. At sometimes he was even called Vikadha. But that is after he got the elephant head, Vikadha. the name only before the elephant head was Vinayaka. Principally Shri Ganesh Utsav. So my dear friends, before we go anywhere again, I don't know which one of them going to sing. Tell one of the two of them. Omar will sing as a song. And if Sita want to choose quick. Principally Gajanan Swami Ki. You see, I talk so much, I have to give them to sing a bhajan before I give Ganesh now the country. Shankar Bhagwan ki Jai. Prahalad, thank you for bringing Sita. Prem se bole Ganesh Bhagwan ki. So now we will have Ganesh and then we'll have our Aarti inclusive.
Sitaram devotees, time really flies, Panditji, when you're giving your discourses. Just last night, me and Andy was talking. Time just run when you're there giving your discourse. So, right about now, we have a very special guy in our audience. He may look very small in physique, but he's a real giant in the parliament. He's none other than MP for Princestown, Mr. Barry Padarat. I'd like you to grace us with your blessings or your presence and give us your kind words. I know the opposition leaders obviously here, but I know you'll do justice.
Reverend Vyas, Sitaram, Pundit Ramsurmair, other Reverend Pundits in our midst, the President of your organization, and it's so fitting that while we celebrate Ganesh Utsav, that the President of the organization is also very much like Lord Ganesh, both in stature and in name. Members of the executive, brothers and sisters, devotees all. This evening, it gives me a tremendous amount of pleasure to join with you on another occasion of Ganesh Utsav. And as Panditji spoke and he delivered his discourse this evening, and he spoke about the malas that we will once, probably not from the distant future, because no one knows where. It also tells us that how fortunate we are to live in a country where we have the freedom of expression and the freedom of religion. But it also reminds us that we must guard that freedom of expression and that freedom of religion jealously. You right here in Felicity have been celebrating this festival and many others for a very, very long time. You have been the lifeblood of this community in keeping the tradition of Sanatan Dharma alive. Today was a very difficult day for me. It was a constituency day from Princestown, then having to be at the political leader's residence for a number of meetings. So forgive me for arriving a little bit late. But I thoroughly enjoyed the discourse of Panditji because he was able to bridge the gap for so many of us with not only the tales of the birth of Shri Ganesh, but also in terms of how we apply it to our everyday lives. And for far too long, we as Hindus, especially the younger ones, we have tended to deviate from Hinduism because of not fully understanding how to apply these teachings of Dharma into our everyday lives. So Panditji, I really want to congratulate you this evening for being one of those who have brought about a renaissance in Hinduism. I always speak about Pandits who bring about a renaissance, a rebirth, a new life. Like the new life you've told us about Shri Ganesh tonight. But that tells us that it's not only about the things that you say, but also Dharma in action by living the teachings of the festivals that we celebrate, whether it's through Bhagavad Gita, Ganesh Utsav, or whether it's the Ramayana. This evening, for some reason I thought at times you were speaking directly to me. I'm sure like many of you, you also thought that Panditji was speaking directly to you. And I've been very fortunate, as you have known, it's in the public domain, to have been blessed with my first child. And that blessing, I will tell you 1 year ago, that blessing, I sat down and performed Ganesh Puja during Ganesh Utsav, and I asked for a miracle in my life. And at the end of Ganesh Utsav, Panditji, I got the news. And today, I think I'm a living testament of the success of puja and prayers to Lord Ganesh, but also keeping faith in our dharma and keeping faith in what we believe in. I remember one day when I first became a parliamentarian, I went to the parliament very early, and the Minister of Finance was the only person other than myself in the parliamentary chamber. And Panditji, many people don't know this, huh? But what I really wanted to be was not a politician, was another P, was a pundit. And I spent years in the training and so on. And then I got a scholarship to go to London, and my life took a different turn. And I came back as a P, but as a politician and not as a pundit. So when I went into the parliament, in my first few weeks, I grew up in Dharma so much so that I understand that to whom much is given, much is expected. I grew up knowing that before you open your mouth to speak, you always invoke Lord Ganesh and Saraswati Devi. Whether it's to speak, whether it's to sing. And I went to the parliament, and Carl Membert was sitting opposite. And he walked over to me and he said, Princess Town, why every time you come to the parliament you will touch the floor and bow to the floor? Why do you whisper before you open your mouth to speak? I noticed that. He said, what magic is this you're doing? And I said to him, I said, my dharma teaches me that to whom much is given, much is expected. And therefore, you always invoke, for us as Hindus, Lord Ganesh and Saraswati Devi. Because the gifts that we have blessed us, Panditji being able to speak on the Singhasan, to recite the mantras, to sing the bhajans. You saw the musicians this evening. Many people often tell me everywhere I go, they say, you're a small fellow with a big mouth. And I always say that's my gift. But that gift is not mine. That was given to me. And for far too often, we tend to take these little things for granted. You know, today in my constituency office, a mother came with a 7-year-old child. And the 7-year-old child has a lung condition and they have a tube in his throat. And she says to me, she says, MP, he can't speak. He can't eat. We feed him through the tube. And I said, was he born like that? And she said, no. She said, it's a condition that he developed. And I said, so what is the long-term remedy? Will he be able to speak again? Will he be able to eat on his own instead of being fed through tubes? And she said to me, she said, the doctor said that he will require surgery and we do not have the money. And I often say in this country that we have to remember where we were, where we are today, but also know where we want to be tomorrow. Because the blessing of being able to put dharma in action, I often say it and I get in trouble for saying it, but I say it anyway. Dharma is not only about sitting on a Singhasan and coming and offering to Lord Ganesh. Dharma is the political will to make things happen. Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, lift yourself by yourself. It is not only about coming and offering prayers and puja. It is about giving voice for things like hospitals and medicine and police stations. Lord Krishna told us in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hir dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyotara dharmasya taratmanam srijamiham parittanaya sadhunam vinashaya dushpitam dharam sansapanataya sumbhavami yuge yuge. He says from age to age, from time to time, when righteousness is on the decline, I will come. But God also tells us, God helps those who help themselves. So my message to you this evening is that while we celebrate and we enjoy the festivities and the blessings of Lord Ganesh, we also have to get up and get. We have to be the message carriers. We cannot only depend on Panditji on the Singhasan to give you a message in terms of to direct your life and the lives of your children. You cannot depend on persons just to be your voice, whether it's inside of the parliament or outside of the parliament in our society today. We live in a society where we take for granted the freedom of expression, when now that freedom is being taken away from us. Will you wait until Panditji can no longer sit on a Singhasan. You know, I heard Sakaraj today and he's right. When Sat said that soon we are developing into a country where they're telling us where we can plant our jandi and where we cannot plant our jandi. They're telling us where we can practice and sing our bhajans and make our offerings and where we cannot. But that can only happen if you allow it to happen. And that is why I remind you that our dharma is not only about the offerings and the bhajan and the puja. It is about service to man. Because service to man is service to God. You know, I often get in trouble for saying this, Panditji, but I say it anyway. In my constituency or everywhere I go, I never ask for prayers or favors for myself. I always say to you and to others wherever I go, I always look at Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa as a light, a Devi and a Shakti. Because when you are able to change the life of one person in this country, whether you're Chinese, you're African, you're Indian, you're white, and you're able to save children. You know, my grandmother always told me, she said, when you're a parent, you will understand it and you will know it. It will be a different feeling. Today I came from the constituency office. I went to the meeting. I got home at 7:30. I live in Cuba. Pick up the baby, put her down. She started to cry. And my mother told me, she said, you'll have many times like that. But you must also do your duty. And that is the reason why I share these things with you. It's for many times, for some of us, as devotees, as Hindus, I often hear some of us say, well, we don't hear Kamla, or we don't hear the opposition, and the opposition is weak, and no one is saying anything. But it is some of our own people. We are our own worst enemy. Because we fight each other. Tonight you come in this setting, and you may say, well, he should not be speaking politics. But that is why I say to you, Dharma is a part of politics. And if you want to sit down here and only pray to Lord Ganesh and not get up and make a change in your country and a change in your society, all that prayers will go to naught. Because the judgment day will come when persons place that mala on you. And you appear before the Lord. And the Lord asks you, what have you done with the life that I have given to you? You will tell him, well, I come and I sing bhajan and I offer mantras. And when he asks you what you have done to better the life of your family and those that have put you on this earth, who cannot help themselves, what will be your answer? And that is why everywhere I go, I never ask for prayers for myself. I always ask for prayers for Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Because having worked with her, I always ask myself, and I always say to myself, when you're in public life, like I am, people will like you, love you, and hate you. I remember when I walked in, I sat down there, I saw two persons looked at each other. And it was not in the nicest of ways. But that is public life. And people will like you, they will love you, and they will hate you wherever you come from. And that is fine. But it must never stop you from doing your duty to God and your duty to man. And that is why I always say to myself, if Kamla Prasad Bisesa can go through the humiliation and indignity of everything that was ever said about her to become Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, by doing exactly what Panditji said tonight, those that hate you, you embrace them and you love them. That was the kind of leader we have had in this country as a Prime Minister. And that is why I ask you this evening, do not only offer prayers when people ask you, pray for the sick. That is well and fine. Pray for those who cannot pray for themselves. But I also ask everywhere I go and in every speech that I make, especially in a religious function or in a religious institution, to remember the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, because I often say to myself, I don't know where she gets the strength from. But as I was on our way coming here, and I was leaving the meeting from her home, she asked me, she said, give them my love, my prayers, but let them know that I'm working and I'm fighting every day to make this country a better one. And part of our dharma, I may not be able to be here in person this evening, but part of my dharma is to stand up and do your duty. And Lord Krishna told us that in Bhagavad Gita. So this evening, brothers and sisters, I'm very happy to join with you in another Ganesh Utsav celebration. but also to awaken your minds and awaken your spirit. Because the lessons of Sri Bhagwan Ganesh, and as we go into the Navratri period and then into the Diwali period, I often say, and I said it in the parliament, we spend all our time, and I heard Punditji say it again this evening, and that is why I felt as though many times he was speaking directly to me. Because I always say, we look for the Devi, Diwali celebration, biggest puja at home, in the mandirs, in the Ramayana, but we forget that the Devi resides in our homes through our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our daughters, and our wives. And I dare even say our political leader, which I often get in trouble for, but I will take that trouble anyway. Because far too often we, as a people, as Hindus, we cry down and we pull down each other. And the only way that we will survive and that we will go forward is when we unite. And that unity is taught us through Dharma. But most importantly, let us put that Dharma in action. So Sitaram, may Lord Ganesh continue to bless each and every one of you. Ganesh, you continue to be the glue in this community of Felicity. I know it is not always an easy road to walk, but always remember this. Nothing comes easy in life, as you have learned and I have learned. And as I've shared with you, not everyone will like you, not everyone will agree with you. But you keep doing what you're doing to hold this organization and to hold your community together. Because sometimes politicians who fail to do that, you have to sometimes pick up the slack, and you have been doing that in this community, in particular, Felicity, together with others. So I pay tribute to you and your organization this evening for holding Felicity and Shri Ganesh together so that this organization can continue to go from strength to strength, and that we, who you have empowered to be your voice inside and outside of the parliament, continue to be fighting night and day for you to make this country a better one. So my final message to you this evening is to arise, awaken. Take the advice of Lord Krishna when he tells us in Bhagavad Gita, he says, lift yourself by yourself. So Sitaram, may Bhagwan continue to bless each and every one of you. And I thank you for your continued love and support on behalf of Mrs. Kamla Prasad Biswasa and the UNC. And as I've said to you before, the only thing that I ask for you is that Bhagwan continues to give her the strength and the courage and the fortitude, the vision to go forward. And she can only do that. Someone who has been very close to her over the years, I know for a fact. Punditji, I know I said I was closing, but I have to tell them this story. When Mrs. Visesa was Prime Minister, I served for 5 years as an advisor to Mrs. Visesa in the Prime Minister's office. And every morning I would go to the Prime Minister's residence. And there was a changing room where she would be changing her clothes, but right next to the changing room there was a study. So I will be pulling up her documents for the day, what we needed to get done, etc. And on the dot, 8 o'clock in the morning, there was always actually two songs that she would play every single day, that now I know it by heart. One was the Hanuman Chalisa, and the second one was a Christian hymn called How Great Thou Art. And one day I asked her, I said, boss, change up the music a little bit now. And she says to me, she says, in your darkest days, I'll remind you of this conversation. And when I suffered what was an attempt to humiliate me in my first speaking in the parliament, it was Kamla Prasad Biswasa who called me. And she said, remember that conversation? She said, this too shall pass, but find solace and strength even in your weakest moments, when you feel like giving up, when you feel that the world is against you. Always remember that you are not alone. The Lord walks with you, but never forget Him. And that is why I ask you this evening to always keep her in your prayers, because I know that is what gives her the strength to remove the obstacles, like Lord Ganesh, removing our obstacles in our path. So Sitaram, and may Lord Ganesh continue to bless each and every one of you. I thank you.
I've told you the guys are giant. So Sitaram devotees once more. I know we're going to do our routine, right? Energy. I'd just like to say thank you to our sponsors for tonight, Mr. Anson Babulal and Dana Suklal. And I say thank you very much, both of you, for tonight's proceedings. And I want to make one more announcement. On Wednesday, after the Yagna is finished, Punditji, we're going to have a big sound off, we call it that way. The Pundit Ganesh Maharaj and his group are going to be here. We want all of you all to join. Stay back and we're going to have a good time. We're going to week out and, and then we're going to do the Visarjan. Right? So that announcement is in order. I would like to thank Pandit Yagna Prabhu for doing Bidi Puja and all the shrotas. So Charhavin will start at 10 a.m. to 2 as usual tomorrow. And then final night tomorrow, discuss. But geez, I feel we could have more nights. Time just flying so fast. So we will see next year how it goes. So Sitaram and see you all tomorrow.
Principal Shri Ganesh Swami Ki. So devotees and friends, this evening we had a little of everything, and we must be able to place our lives in its right position, understand how the scriptures apply to our life today and how we must live ourselves. Tomorrow evening, as I told you, I'm going to do Ridhi and Siddhi, and the MP made mention of how what we were taught, that he was taught to do the Ganesh offerings and touch Mother Earth and so on. And Ganesh Bhagwan also taught us, and through Somakant talking to his son Hemakant, of the procedure you should follow when you wake in the morning. Tomorrow I'm going to do that very quickly. I'm going to do also Ridhi and Siddhi, and I'm going to deal with how Gajanana destroyed Sindura. As I told you, Sindura is that ego within us which wants to embrace everything and burn it to ash. And only him, Sindura, should be existing. And so many, my dear friends, there are so many Sinduras around into us that we have to get rid of. And Gajanana Swami will teach us tomorrow how to fight and how to destroy that ego, that Sindura. Principal Gajanana Swami Ki. May you all please stand, and as I said, a nice line, and everybody, you will do the arati. You go take the coconut, perform the arati here, and then walk back out through the stairs on that side and back into your side. Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janmayarti Kritani Chain Kani Kani Vinashayante Pradakshina Gade Shri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh.